Crvena Zvezda continues to dominate ABA League with another resounding win. The teams from Macedonia, Karpos, Sokoli and MZT continue the fight for survival, while FNP defeated Mornar at home. Meet the silver medalist for the Serbian national team at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio, Partizan's Stefan Bircevic. We've prepared another list of top 5 plays and it's worth the wait. Welcome to ABA Magazine. Last week's breaking news shook the entire world of basketball. Isaiah Austin is back. The former Baylor standout is the newest member of FNP. Serious illness kept this once great NBA prospect off the court for years, but he was cleared by the doctors to return to basketball after extensive medical examinations and will play his first professional season with a club from Železnik. Jean-Marc Šiško is no longer a member of Cibona. The young Slovenian point guard decided to part ways with the team from Zagreb after just 9 ABA League games. Šiško averaged 4.3 points and 2.6 assists per game. For the time being, he will play for Ilirija Ljubljana in Slovenia's second-tier league. After FIBA's ban was lifted, Zadar reinforced the team with 3 new players. The first one was Mike Kovačević, who spent the preseason with the team but had to be sent on a loan. Zadar signed 2 internationals, Dutchman Yannick Franke and Bulgarian Aleksandar Janev. The 20-year-old Dutch player started the season in Athens, but wasn't satisfied with the playing time in AEK and signed for 2 more seasons with Zadar. Janev has so far played in Bulgaria, Greece and Spain, but his last club was Kožup from Macedonia. Igokea decided to cut ties with Brandon Fortenberry. The American played 15 ABA League games this season and averaged 5.5 points and 2 rebounds per game, but these figures didn't impress the club's management. The team with the longest losing streak and the team with the longest winning streak continued the season in the same manner. Crvena Zvezda got their 18th win of the season, while Krka fell to the bottom of the table after their 9th consecutive defeat. Coach Dejan Mihev's team had a rough time without Rebec and Čebular. With an already a tough task to resist the league's best team, that much tougher. They did take a 6-3 lead in Aleksandar Nikolić Hall, but Crvena Zvezda fired back with 11 unanswered points. The home team made 5 out of their 10 three-pointers in the first 10 minutes of the game and would continue to dominate until the end. The team from Slovenia managed to reduce their deficit to 5 points at the beginning of the second quarter, but it turned out it was just a short period of rest for the home team. Dejan Radonjic's men used turnovers to score easy points in transition, held Krka scoreless for 5 whole minutes, and with a 14-0 run, staked their claim for the win. The team from Belgrade didn't break a sweat on its way to victory. Coach Radonjic, who now holds the record for the number of games at the helm, tried to distribute minutes equally among his players, leaving one of the heroes of the triumph against Fenerbahce, Ognjen Kuzmic, on the bench. With Crvena Zvezda up by game-high 23 points in the fourth quarter, Lukovic initiated a run of 10 unanswered points, which saved the visitors from an embarrassing loss. He led his team with 20 points and was the only one to score in double digits. Krka was once again held under 35% from the field. All of the home team players managed to score, with Nemanja Dangubić leading the way with 13 points, 3 3-pointers and 8 rebounds. Simonovic finished the game with 11 points and also 3 3-pointers. Bjelica and Walters stood out with 9 points each, but the American added 5 rebounds and 6 assists as well. Cedevita put the defeat from Unicaja in Eurocup in the rearview mirror and focused on the match with Leks. In one of the most dramatic games of the round, Cedevita came out on top 89-85 in front of the home crowd. The team from Zagreb took advantage of Partizan's loss and is now only a game behind in the fight for the second place and the home field advantage in the semi-finals. Cedevita was once again without Marko Tomas, while Mega couldn't count on Tejic and Djokovic. Coach Dejan Milovic's team sent a challenge to Cedevita from the get-go. From the aggressive defense came the easy points in transition, while Jovan Novak came up with good options on set offense for the youngest team in the league. Cedevita struggled on offense, but Luka Babic found ways to keep his team in the game. At the end of the first quarter, Mega held a 6-point lead, but thanks to Šurna and Babic, the home team turned the game around in the second and went up by 8 at the half, 44-36. When the Croatian champions raced to a double-digit lead in the third quarter, it seemed all hope was lost for the visitors. However, Mega is not a team that will go down without a fight. Shooters found their stroke, and a 14-3 scoring run ended with a 1-point lead entering the fourth quarter. Čančar and Spasovic played key roles in a stunning comeback by the visiting team. Cedevita's point guard Ryan Boatwright woke up in the fourth quarter. John Šurna followed his lead and made a 3 for a 6-point lead with 6 minutes left to play. To no surprise, Mega struck back. Rade Zagorac got a basket and a foul and brought his team to within 1 with a little over a minute left to play. Cedevita let the possession go to waste, and it was quickly followed by a questionable call. Begic blocked Zagorac. Referees said the points were good, but later overturned the call after seeing the replay. Cedevita kept the lead, and Luka Babic doubled it with 1 out of 2 free throws made with 21 seconds left on the clock. Coach Dejan Milovic called the timeout and went for the win, calling for a 3-point shot. Novak was in a bad position and missed the game winner at the buzzer. Cedevita has Luka Babic to thank for the 13th win this season and his 27 points and 9 rebounds. Spasovic was the top scorer for the losing side with 18 points. Partizan's 8-game win streak came to an end in Ljubljana. With the final score 74-68, Olimpija celebrated the 8th triumph this season. The game featured poor shooting and lacked flair, but there was no shortage of drama in Tivoli Sports Hall. Partizan paid the price for having 6 turnovers more and missing open shots in the decisive moments. The home team snatched the lead through Jankovic and Devin Oliver. The American finished the game with 18 points and 10 rebounds. The team from Ljubljana stretched the lead to 8 points but had to settle for a 24-18 lead at the end of the first quarter. Coach Aleksandar Džekic's team was without Marinkovic and Robinson, but despite that managed to get back in the game at the start of the second period, employing zone press defense. But soon enough they found themselves in trouble as they kept turning the ball over as well. Aggressive defense paid off for Olimpija as it went up by 10, but the team from Belgrade managed to cut that deficit in half before the halftime break. Partizan was at his best in the third quarter. Rock-solid defense held the opponent to only 8 points, despite a number of offensive rebounds by Devin Oliver. Even though it was struggling on offense, ABA League's second-place team gradually melted down the deficit. With a nice scoring run, the visiting team turned the game completely around and went up by 9 in the fourth quarter. But like so many times this season, Partizan let the lead slip out of its hands. It took Olimpija only 90 seconds to pull off an 8-0 run and send the game to a dramatic finish. Brandon Jefferson made the difference in the final moments. Olimpija's sharpshooter struggled up to that point, but his back-to-back three-pointers gave the team a much-needed win. He led all scorers with 20 points to his name. After missing 14 free throws early on, the hosts went 6 for 6 from the line in the key moments of the game. Nikola Jankovic missed a number of them, but left a good impression nevertheless, adding 12 points and 8 rebounds. Adin Rabat stood out for Partizan with 17 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Bircevic scored 13 points and grabbed 12 rebounds, while Andrić added another 12 points. Stefan Bircevic began his career in Metalac. It took him a while, but he finally made it to the ABA League with Radnički Kragujevac, where he made a name for himself in the regional competition. After 3 years in the Serbian league with Metalac, I felt ready for the challenge at the next level. My rookie season in ABA League with Radnički was okay. I was glad to be a part of that team. Those 3 years in Kragujevac were fun. We played the game the right way. It was fun, and we had a great support from the fans. The stands were always full. His performance in the ranks of Radnički gave him a chance to compete in Spanish league for 2 seasons with Estudiantes. First and foremost, it was a pleasure to live in a city like Madrid. We had a great working habitat with a practice facility downtown. The fans were great. Anywhere from 7 to 12,000 fans were there for every game. I think we drew a higher average attendance than Real in the Spanish ACB league. It was a great experience just being a part of that.
Tako da, što se toga tiče iz života, jako lepo biti tamo.
In the meantime, Bircevic won silver medals at the Olympics and the World Championship with the Serbian national team. I was lucky enough to be a part of a great team that featured such talented players. I do believe this generation of the Serbian national team earned those silver medals with the best point guard in Europe in Miloš Teodosić.
Mislim da ova generacija zaslužila to I jednostavno imamo najbolji trenika.
We had great chemistry. We all knew our roles. And it was our teamwork, desire and hard work, and not so much the talent that gave us success.
Mislim da nismo toliko možda kvalitetom došli do toga koliko tom željom I tom našom hemijom I zajedništvom do takvih rezultata.
How would he grade the level of competition in ABA League?
Svakako da je ta ABA Liga jako značajna.
ABA League is very important for the basketball in the region. The competition is at a higher level than it would be in the domestic leagues.
I mislim da ima jako dobrih timova.
It's more challenging and that can only help the growth of basketball in the region. There are a few really good teams out there in Crvena Zvezda, Cedevita, Buducnost, even Mornar. They only have a handful of wins, but it's a great team. The competition is at a very high level, and I hope it will be the case in the upcoming seasons as well. It's important to continue in the basketball tradition of the former Yugoslavia. He didn't have to think twice when Partizan came calling. Here's what he had to say about the team's ambitions this season. I wouldn't come back if mine and the club's goals didn't match. And for both, they are set at the highest possible level. We all know what's expected from Partizan. We're in a tough spot. Financially, it's not what it used to be, but we have great team chemistry. We're playing at a high level, and I expect us to get even better and join the fight for the championship ring.
Da igramo dobru košarku I da samo u narednom periodu možemo biti još bolji.
FNP overpowered Mornar in Železnik 92-85 to extend the winning streak to 3 games. But the all-important 4th win in the last 5 games was overshadowed by the professional debut of Isaiah Austin, 3 years after he played his last official game at Baylor. UCLA's Jonah Bolden was inspired enough to give the home team a 10-4 lead, but Mornar struck back through Boris Bakic. In between his 3 three-pointers, Momo Jones added 11 points in the first period. The game was tied midway through the second period, but FNP would soon take a 37-30 lead with a 3-pointer from Bolden. The visiting team responded with a 10-2 run and was up 44-41 at the half. Cameron Tatum finally found his shot in the third quarter and with back-to-back threes gave Mornar a 55-51 lead. FNP would turn the game around for the last time with a run of 11 unanswered points. Dejan Davidovac scored 7 points in the first minute of the fourth quarter, enough for FNP to take a 74-64 lead. With 2 minutes left on the play clock, his team would reach a game-high 12-point lead. 2 quick shots from the distance sparked up Mornar, but Austin hit a dagger 3 to make sure Mornar would remain winless on the road. FNP's MVP was Bolden with 22 points. Filip Čović added 13 points and 14 assists, while Isaiah Austin needed only 9 minutes to score 9 points and grab 4 rebounds. Jones led the losing side with 24 points, while Tatum added 13. With a surprising ease, Buducnost took down Igokea in Podgorica 75-60. Unlike the game played in Laktaši, this game did not feature a dramatic finish and offensive wizardry of James Robinson. Coach of the visiting team Dragan Bajic couldn't rely on the injured Albijanić or Brandon Fartenberry, who was released from the team during the week. In a short-handed rotation, young Darko Talić got a chance to start, but his inexperience combined with a bad shooting night for Robinson led to an awful start for Igokea. The team was held scoreless for 5 minutes, with their possessions ending with 5 missed shots and 5 turnovers. This was welcomed by Marcus Williams and Boris Savovic of the opposing team. Latter played a great game despite having a bad cold. They led their team to a 10-0 opening lead and later to a 17-point lead in the first period. After 10 minutes, Buducnost had a 26-12 lead. It took Marcus Williams only 14 minutes to score 15 points and lead the home team to a 45-29 lead at the halftime. Both teams struggled with shooting percentages of 38% and 36% respectively, but the visitors never posed any serious threat. Despite the offensive struggles, Coach Zuros led his team to a routine win, 3rd in a row. Williams ended the game with 17 points and 6 assists. Soršehović scored 14, while Savovic and Klesen added 12 each with 7 and 8 rebounds respectively. In the opposing team, Mičović with 15 and Rikić with 11 were only players to score in double digits. Robinson scored just 2 points and made only 1 out of 7 shots. With back-to-back defeats, Igokea is at 9-9 record and remains 6th on the table. Buducnost kept up with Cedevita and is now only a game behind the second-placed Partizan. In the opening game of the round, MZT made short work of Zadar in Janez Sandanski Hall 92-65. Champion of Macedonia put an end on the losing streak and grabbed an important win in their battle to avoid relegation. Coach of the home team Ante Nazor again couldn't count on the injured Đurovski and Sinovec, but welcomed back Jure Lalić to the lineup. Zadar arrived to Skopje with only 10 players. Flubak kept Lovre Bašić sidelined, but Slovenian Mike Kovačević finally had his debut. MZT controlled the game from the opening minute and quickly grabbed the lead with the front-court duo Lalić and Scott dominating in both paints. With Vladovic, Kovačević and Marinković coming off the bench, the visiting team found rhythm on offense and got within 5 by the end of the first period. MZT opened the second quarter with a 6-0 run, but Vladovic's 3-pointers brought Zadar back in the game. Josh Scott responded on the other end, and MZT held on to a 47-38 lead at the halftime. Zadar made the game interesting, slicing the lead down to 6 in the third, but Drenovac burst their bubble as he led his team to a 15-point lead. Marko Simonovski decided it was time to work on his range in the fourth quarter, dropping 4 rapid-fire 3-pointers for the winners. With 18 points apiece, Drenovac and Scott led MZT to his 5th win this season, while Simonovski added another 17. Vladovic with 18 points led the scorers for Zadar. Karpos Sokoli grabbed another win at home. After Buducnost, Cedevita, Leks, Krka and Mornar, Dragan Nikolić's team managed to beat Cibona in Boris Trajkovski hall 76-70. Bojan Trajkovski scored first 6 points for Karpos, but was matched on the other end by Cibona's newest addition, Luka Žorić. In an evenly fought first quarter, much like the rest of the game, the visiting team came out on top 17-15. Emir Sulejmanović came off the bench to spark Cibona and increased the lead to 28-21. But Karpos had an answer in Labović and Kendrick Perry, who brought their team to within 35-33 at the half. It all came down to the final 2 minutes of the game. With Cibona up 64-62, Trajkovski dropped a three-pointer and added a jumper in succession. Zeković and Perry completed the team's 9-0 run. Cibona managed to get within 72-70 with a three by Šakić, but Trajkovski and Perry were accurate from the free throw line, ensuring that the Karpos will have their 6th win in 6 games at home, led by coach Nikolić. Perry was the leading scorer with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists and 4 steals. Trajkovski added another 19 points and Zeković got 13 more. Sulejmanović led the scorers for Cibona with 15 points, while Žorić stopped at 14 points and 6 rebounds. Luka Babić takes the MVP honors for the 18th round of ABA League. This is only the second time this season that a member of Cedevita was voted MVP of the round. Croatian guard had his season-best performance in the triumph over Leks. Babić scored 27 points with 9 assists and 6 rebounds. His index value rating was 34, the highest in this round. We begin our top 5 plays of the round review in Skopje, with MZT's Shalom Klop driving the lane for a powerful dunk. Crvena Zvezda's point guard Stefan Jović protects the rim and takes the 4th spot. A little bit of magic from Marcus Williams at number 3. Mega's Alpha Kaba goes for a mega dunk over Arapović at number 2. You have to be at the top spot of our list if you put Octavius Ellis on the poster. FNP's Jonah Bolden did just that. That will be all for this edition of ABA Magazine. We will be back next week with highlights from the 19th round, so stay tuned.